Well, I'm balancing my low profile towers are just installed on here, and one hint to give you a hint as to where to put the weights. You see that dot? That's a low weight on a tire. Usually you would put that opposite of the valve stem, but I didn't do it that way. These are very difficult to put on. So I put a few weights on here, and I got the bubble in the center. And just to verify it, what I do is I gently spin the tire, and you can see where I had this was the side that needed the weights to get this down. It's still in the center, so it's not a perfect high speed balance, but it's actually sufficient usually to work pretty well. Most of the time too, you're not going to have to adjust the weights that much from the rim, because the rim on low profile tires is more weight. Maybe it's more, the tires themselves don't weigh as much as regular profile tires, so they're not going to be off as much. But this does work. So, and what I do to put these on, I just chemically clean with some starting fluid on the inside over here, and to keep this marked where the weights are going to go. And I re-glue them on with shoe goo, the stuff you repair shoes with, and that's a wrap. So, I'll be finishing this up tonight and getting these on the that blue Chevy right there, because I'll be taking that thing over to Georgia, and we're getting some film, and I might go up there on the 23rd too. It's gonna be a long drive though, but we're going to the Captain Wirtz Memorial Service, so up in Georgia. So I want to get some good tires on there, and only paid $216 for 4 tires off eBay, shipping the whole 9 yards. That was the final price. Did everything myself. They were difficult though, because these smaller low profile tires were extremely difficult to change with the manual tire changer. And the last step now I had to do was to balance them, which is not a big deal, but I got to wait till I got to put that glue on there, and we'll get them all set, mount it tonight. So one more tire to balance. Not very difficult to do, but again, pay attention to that mark. That's a low spot. That's in other words, that's a low weight in the tire. You see the weight's got to go on the opposite side of that. So and that's what occurred. And like I said, this thing does not. You might have to put this on this a few times, and I like to do to verify it, because it doesn't center that good sometimes. I like to verify it by gently spinning it, make sure it stays in the center. So it's good to go. I mean, you're not going to get it as good as a high-speed balancing equipment. That's the reason this thing's cheap, but it works. It works pretty good.